Is the world standing on the edge of a third world war? It is January 2026 and the drums of war are beating louder than ever in the Middle East. The fact that tensions between Washington and Tehran have reached a point of no return. From the streets of Tehran, filled with protesters, Oval Office where President Trump weighs his options. Okay, today we break down the reality of the 2026 Iran-US crisis. We will look at the secret nuclear developments, the internal collapse of the Iranian economy, and the potential for a global oil crisis. Stay tuned because the next 5 minutes could explain the future of our global security. To understand the tension, we must first look inside Iran. As of early 2026, Iran is facing its most significant domestic challenge since the 1979 revolution. Massive protests have erupted in over 60 cities from Mashhad to Tabriz. The cause, a total economic meltdown. The Iranian rial has lost 40% of its value in just 3 months. People aren't just shouting for reform anymore, they are shouting for survival. The Iranian government has responded with an iron fist, where they're cutting off the internet and deploying the Revolutionary Guard. Reports of casualties are rising and the world is watching the footage leaking through satellite links. This internal chaos has made the leadership in Tehran unpredictable and dangerous. Enter Donald Trump. Since his return to the presidency, the maximum pressure campaign has returned with a vengeance. While Washington has made its position clear, the era of negotiation is over. As President Trump recently stated that America will no longer tolerate Iran's influence in the region. New sanctions have been placed on any case than country that dares to buy Iranian oil. This is not just a trade war, it is an economic siege intended to bring the regime to its knees. But critics argue that this pressure is pushing Iran into a corner where they have nothing left to lose. And a cornered power is the most dangerous kind. Now, let's talk about the biggest red line, the nuclear program. By late 2025, intelligence reports suggested Iran had enriched uranium to 90% purity. Man, at 90%, you are no longer talking about energy, you are talking about a nuclear warhead. This too, Israel has vowed that it will never allow a nuclear Iran to exist. We have already seen shadow strikes on Iranian facilities throughout 2025. But Iran has moved its centrifuges deep into underground mountain bunkers like Fordow. To destroy these, America would need to use massive bunker buster bombs. An attack of that scale would be an official declaration of war. Now, if war breaks out, the first victim will be the global economy. That Iran holds a dead man's switch known as the Strait of Hormuz. This narrow waterway carries 25% of the world's total oil consumption. Iran has threatened to mine the strait and sink tankers if they are attacked. If the oil stops flowing, prices could skyrocket to $250 per barrel overnight. Well, this would cause a global depression, affecting every single person watching this video. But this isn't just a two-player game. Iran's axis of resistance, including remnants of groups in Iraq and Yemen, is ready to strike US bases. Meanwhile, Russia and China are watching closely. Russia relies on Iranian drones for its own conflicts, and China needs the energy. And neither power wants to see a US-controlled Middle East. The situation is a tinderbox, and one spark, one drone strike, or one miscalculated move could set it off. So where do we go from here? The next few months of 2026 will be the most critical in modern history. Now, will diplomacy find a last-minute window, or are we destined for a kinetic confrontation? History tells us that when communication fails, weapons speak. What do you think? Is President Trump's strategy working, or is it leading us to disaster? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. This is a conversation we need to have. Okay, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into global geopolitics. Stay informed, stay safe. See you in the next video.